Welcome back, guys. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Keefe D has only one way out according to the information and the facts, or what are believed to be the facts or allegations, if you will, but a lot of stuff is basically factual in regards to the interviews that he's done. And I'll give you the example of where I see him copping a plea, but it's only if the government wants to go this route, if you will, right? And it would be the Sean Puffy Combs route. There's nothing else other than him saying, yeah, you know what, I admit to it. When you deal with this situation here, it's similar to the John Gotti situation, right? And where Sammy the Bull Gravano, who we all know testified against John Gotti in court. They caught John Gotti on tape at his little hideout in the old lady's apartment, you know, above the little hideout that they had in New York, right? And so Keefe D has made the accusation on numerous occasions that Sean Puffy Combs put a hit on Tupac and Suge Knight. Not only did he do that and say that, it has come to the public understanding as of recently that Diddy's old bodyguard said that he witnessed Diddy roll up on Suge and Suge back down or something similar to that. And you know, that's the power balance, the shift of the balance of power, if you will. Puffy at that particular time, Suge didn't have all the money that he did back in the day, and Puffy was on top of his game, if you will. You know, had the finances, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. Money is power, let's be clear. But the Keefe D situation, and I don't know if this is happening right now. They say that a grand jury has been convened in regards to the Sean Puffy Combs situation regarding various things. When I look at everything that Keefe D has said in regards to him being involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur, I don't really see it any plausible way of him now trying to shoot those statements that he made down. There was one statement that Keefe D made in regards to the situation involving that, and where he was on the Art of Dialogue. This is the only time that I've heard in any interview in where Keefe D had an opportunity to create reasonable doubt. The Art of Dialogue had asked him in reference to people saying that he was about to be indicted before the indictment came down in regards to the murder of Tupac Shakur. And the Art of Dialogue asked him, so what do you say about people who say that you're about to be indicted? And Keefe D said, I'm rolling with God, homie. I'm rolling with God. Or God got me, is what he said. God got me, homie, you know. Now, thinking about everything that he had said up until that point, he would have been better off basically saying that it's all bullshit anyway, man. All of it's bullshit. Everything I'm saying is some bullshit. Or it's all bullshit, if you will. He didn't even have to say everything that I'm saying is all bullshit. That was the only time that I seen in where, and there's been other opportunities, but the specific question was asked in reference to him about to be indicted. And in that question right there, Keefe D, if he was thinking, could have created reasonable doubt. And so now, with that being said, I don't see now how it would be possible for him to get around all of the accusations, all of the interview with the Metropolitan Police Department, Vegas police, confessing to his involvement in the murder, the Greg Kading, him confessing to the involvement in the murder, and all the other places that he confessed, as well as his book. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 times versus the one time that he's going to have to take the stand, in which they're saying that Keefe D won't take the stand, that he would be able to try to convince a jury that, hey, you know what? I was just trying to make some money. I was just trying to do this for fame, and what they've been saying, right? So now, the only way that I see that he might have an opportunity, and this is only if the government wants to take it this route. Sammy DeBoer-Gravano went to jail for and admitted to him being involved in certain murders at that time when he was with, in the mob. And in exchange for a lighter sentence or the possibility of parole, in which Sammy DeBoer-Gravano went into the witness protection program, he's out now, but he did go to jail, is that Keefe D pleads guilty, right? And the offer from the prosecutor is the offer of, you plead guilty, we indict Sean Puffy Combs for the murder for hire plot for Tupac, and saying that everything that Keefe D said was true. You have to understand that, and most people don't really understand that. So, in him saying what he said, then most of what he said, or all of what he said, would have to be true if he's to go to jail for what's going on. So, if the government came with that type of offer, that's the only way that I could see Keefe D having a chance at having his freedom again, if you will. So, yeah, that's it. There's nothing else. And that's only if the government wants to go that route. They want to pursue that route. Like I said, we heard what Gene Deal had said in regards to him seeing the check that was cut to Von Zip, if you will, and where P. Diddy paid Von Zip the $1 million, right? Most people say, well, that's all circumstantial evidence. Once again, we know that the murders happened in the Sammy DeBoer-Gravano's case and John Gotti's case. We know that Tupac also was killed, right? And so the person who is responsible, or who's saying that they were there, saying the reason why they did it, among other things, and being an accomplice to that, right? Who spearheaded the effort and saying that, hey, I had a meeting with him, I told him we wanted $1 million, he agreed to that, and we went to Vegas. The situation happened when we got in this fight. He said he got the gun from Zip, and now basically saying, hey, you know what, let's get this money. And saying that Zip was supposed to, Sean Puffy Combs allegedly was supposed to give the money to Zip in order to pay Keefe D. Now, some speculation, but like I said, this comes down to a case in where Keefe D would have to plead guilty first. If he pleads guilty and they say, hey, we plead guilty and we're going to give you X amount of time in exchange for he's going to prison, so it doesn't, at least not like he pleads guilty and they give him immunity, because he already had that with the proffer agreement. But pleading guilty and with the him testifying against Sean P. Diddy Combs about the whole situation that he told Greg Kading and that he spoke about in his book, and so on and so forth. That's the only thing that I see at this particular time that would help Keefe D get off on any kind of charge. Other than that, he's going to jail. And that's just simply what that is from that perspective. So you guys chime in and tell me what you think. Most people say, oh, Keefe D's lying, is numb. we're past that at this particular point, because he's now sitting in Clark County Detention Center facing murder charges, if you will, or one count of murder involving with gang enhancements involving the killing of Tupac Shakur. And so he has to sit back and think about, like, hey, you know what? And dealing with the prosecution, if it's possible that he will ever see his freedom ever again, from that perspective. Or, like most people, who face the pressure and, there were other circumstances involving the situation and why they did what they did. And him, coming forward and saying, hey, you know what, I'll take the deal. And we want you, and then they go try to indict Sean P. Diddy Combs, if you will. That's the only thing that I see. Other than that, he's going to jail. That's just what I think. From what I've seen, the lawyer basically saying the statement from 2009, he didn't know nothing about it. Keefe, he didn't tell him about it, right? And all of the other statements that he's made. Now the lawyer's answer to that, or defense to that, is Keefe wasn't even in Vegas. When he sat there and told Las Vegas Police Department that he was in Vegas. And I think they asked him also in that same interview, where was he staying at when he was in Vegas? And he told them where he was staying at. And so that's the reason why I say that it just won't work. He already told him that he was. So now you're basically saying that you weren't, and the time that he had made those statements to the Las Vegas Police Department, he thought he had immunity. So he was speaking openly and honest about what it was, because he thought that he couldn't be held accountable. And at that time, they were in agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office not to hold him accountable. But, once he started talking outside the proffer agreement, then that canceled all of that. And so now we're here where we are at this particular time. So I don't understand, once again, like I always say, how he gets around his own words when the district attorney states that, well, at this particular time, you thought you were protected under the proffer agreement. And so now, and why I say that and propose that, because that's going to be the question that Keefe D is going to have to answer. He's not going to be able to not get on the stand and try to defend himself. And once he does that, he's faced with the DA being able to cross-examine him. And so, but yeah, so we'll see basically what happens with this. But, that's the only thing that I see that Keefe D possibly can do other than that. And like I said, this is not nothing that he has to come up and create. This is something that he said in the inception of him getting the proffer deal involving the murder of Tupac Shakur. Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.